Okay, cool. Who wants to know what?
So can you guys talk a little bit about how the circle kind of signifies full circle in a lot of your careers?
Go on. No, you're from.
No, Jason, I think you have it down better than me. And plus, his accent sounds better when he says it.
Well, it all began.
Storytelling.
Yeah. It all began for me. It all began. Obviously, I've known the guys for a long time. Local show in Florida where I live now. I was late as usual. Got there. Sammy walked off stage while in the middle of a song and said, "Do you know so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he goes, "Good."
It was Pound Cake, Finish What You Started, Led Zeppelin, Rock and Roll, and Whole Lot of Love.
But you only told me Pound Cake at the beginning.
Yeah.
This is how it all began. And then he wouldn't let me off the stage. And the next day, that was it. We got the phone call. I got a phone call from Sammy and put a spanner in the works what I was doing at the time. Completely made me go, well, maybe I shouldn't do what I'm doing now. Maybe I want to go and do this. And it's been the best decision I made. The music that we cover, from the Van Halen solo stuff, Montrose, and even in the future there will be new material. It's just timeless. I say today is a classic example. It's going to be a little bit of light in the darkness, just to make everyone going to go, remember when it was all good fun rock and roll and music. And it's as I say, the music we play is timeless.
Right. It was so spontaneous. I never even thought about this lineup. I mean, Vic has been with me. He's been riding shotgun with me for 17 years. But Mike and I have been rolling since
30 years,
since
brother. 30 years,
90,
brother.
85 since 85.
I knew Mike before you did.
See that?
Interesting.
See there? So,
yeah.
So it's really kind of coincidence how this all came. Then Jason, like I said, just shows up at a show, and I said, "Hey, you want to play these songs?" After he played those 4 songs, we just looked at each other and went, "Fuck, let's start a band."
Yeah.
It was so the chemistry. It's all about chemistry. You have the best players in the world, and if they can't play together, this band plays really well together. Well, at least we did last night.
Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight.
We're good. But no, it's really true. It wasn't premeditated. It wasn't like Chickenfoot. We put that band together. We thought about it. Mike and I have been jamming, Chad. But this band, we didn't put it together. And once we played together, I just said, "Fuck! I want Jason to be the drummer in the band." And then I thought, well, let's just kind of, And then we started looking at the options of a set list we could have with this lineup, right? Legitimate.
Oh my God! Boy, did that open it up.
Then it was
oh my gosh.
And I think, I don't even think you thought at the beginning, we didn't even really think of that. It was just like, let's play.
Yeah.
And then we was like, well, look at the set list we could
have.
have.
The sky opened
it
up.
Was like,
man.
And then it was like, well, what about that one? What about that one? That's the hardest thing, is trying to narrow it down to the time.
We could play at least 5 nights, a 2-hour show every night, and not repeat one song, and still have a fucking greatest hits night.
And we're probably going to announce that tour will be announced in October.
Maybe the greatest hits of all time, not just our personal.
Yes. Sammy said he's going to make that announcement before his birthday.
Occurred to us was the freedom that you have now.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys writing together at all, or anything like that? Anything?
Yeah, we've got 3 songs we've kind of worked up, and we're not playing them now. But when this tour's over, I want to go in the studio and just lock ourselves in there if everybody's got the time, after Christmas, and just say, let's create something that's unique and special, and not try to outdo our fathers and ourselves and our old bands or anything. You know what I mean? Because that's impossible to fuck with that. So let's just kind of let's see.
It'll be our own.
Who we are.
It'll be our own unique thing to this band.
How do you? Sorry to interrupt you, but how do you manage one band like Chickenfoot and the Circle, kind of at the same time when they overlap? How do you do
we
that?
really didn't.
Well, Chickenfoot's on hold because Chad and the Chili's are always working. Like they go out for 3 years and then they go back and start writing for a year. So he's always really busy. So we've always squeezed him in there, and I wouldn't do it again without him. We already
decided
so
that.
Joe's about to start a world tour with a new record. So it's kind of Chickenfoot. Yeah, when Chickenfoot can get together, that's kind of like, honestly, that's our hobby band.
Yeah.
This.
always good.
I don't mind
Nothing wrong with
the
that.
list of drummers that these guys have played with. I don't mind being on that list. When you look, it's like Alex. Hey, Chad, it's like Alex and Chad are in my top.
Oh, amazing!
10.
This guitarist that I've been had the pleasure to play with.
No,
Joe Satriani.
for
Just them 2 right there.
Oh, how do I stay so young? No, good sex, good drugs, and good rock and roll, man. That's about it. Sex with my wife, by the way, and drugs, drugs that I make personally, and this band.
So, I mean, we've seen some many changes in the music industry over the years. Has it changed your approach to anything? Like, have you approached things differently just with all the changes we've seen?
I mean, obviously you can't help but, you know, you listen to bands that are out now, you know, there's so much music out there, but, you know, me, I grew up listening to Montrose, you know, was one of the bands I grew up listening to before Van Halen, you know, and so obviously you're very heavily influenced by that. I'm still influenced by listening to Zepp stuff that, you know, I'll dig out, listen to, go, wow, you know, or old Sammy stuff or whatever, you know.
It's really interesting. Then the more I get to know Jason, you know, like I said, the idea of us saying, let's just not jump in the studio and make a new record with the material we have to choose from. We can go play anywhere in the world, anytime, and do a great show. So I said, you know, we all decided, let's go out and play shows and get to know each other and find out what works and what doesn't work. You know, like some of the Zeppelin tunes, I can't relate to. I can't sing them. I'm not going to sit there and try to sing Stairway to Heaven. I feel like I had egg on my face. But I can sing frickin' Whole Lot of Love, and I can sing rock and roll. You know, and the same thing. Jason's going, I can't play, you know, that song, that Van Halen. So I don't feel right playing. You know, so we play the songs he likes to play. Long story short, when we go in the studio together, I'm finding out that Jason is kind of a folky, friggin' American rootsy kind of guy, and that's strange. Here he's you know, British, and you would think, but it's like his ideas are coming from really good harmonies and very melodic, really kind of soulful, basic, like I said, country American. It's very trippy, and I love that because he sees it different than I do. When he brings out a song that's maybe an old blues tune or old folks tune, the way he's hearing it is different than the way I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it as a bunch of old tired stuff. Oh man, I've been hearing that my whole life, and he hears it. You know, like people like Hank Williams, people like that, songs like that. You know, not that he's wanting to record one of those songs, but when he starts singing one of them songs, I'm going, holy fuck, you know that song? You know,
all the stuff. I mean, I was.
How do you know Woody Guthrie songs?
You started singing Louis Prima the other day.
Yeah, Louis Prima.
Come on.
As a kid growing up in England, the hardest thing was at school, like talking to your fellow peers at like 10 and 11, going, "Hey, have you checked out the new Crosby, Stills and Nash album?" And they'd all go, "Who the fuck's that?" In England, nobody fucking knew. So I was like, and I'm like, what do you mean? You know, what are you talking about? 11-year-old kids didn't listen to that. You know, they didn't know what, you know, Abandoned Carabinet by Hall & Oates, the opening of, you know, the way it was recorded and everything. I just remember being woken up, listening to all this old music, you know, this as growing up. So I had a whole other knowledge. And when my father passed, I went to every album he had and played it. I mean, from his, you know, so it was, you know, some of his, he was really into Freddie King. He was really into Barry White. My dad was really into
That's
Barry.
what I'm saying. He's got a twisted catalog in his head. It's almost like what the Stones did with Chuck Berry. You know, they just picked him clean, but it didn't really sound like Chuck Berry because it was coming through this British thing. That's the way I like Jason's, the way our music, American rootsy music, comes through him and back to us. It's like really, I think it's really cool. It's refreshing, and it's inbred in all of us. So I can see when we start writing new songs, I can just see it being really, really original. I think people are going to kind of go, wow, I didn't expect that from them.
Yeah, they're going to trip out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's going to be different, you know. Like Sammy said, it's not, you know, why try to write another Van Halen song or another Sammy Hagar Montrose song?
Real quick.
Talk to me,
kind of on a more serious note, like you know, you starting out with Montrose and everything. You know, what was the thing? You know, with his passing. You know, how much of a hit on you was that? You know, with you know, the influence, the years you spent. You know, how you carried on into your solo career from that.
It was tough, man. When I got that call, it was devastating because I just started talking. Him and I started talking again recently, and he was going to come to Cabo for my birthday that year, and play with the original Montrose. I said to him, quote unquote, on the phone, Ronnie. He was saying, I don't know, Hagar. He was always accusing me of trying to do stuff for my own good. Like, what do you want from me? I'm going, I don't need anything from you, Ronnie. Trust me. I want to thank you, you know. I want to do something for you. And he was a hard guy to get along with. So he told me, okay, I'll do it. Because he said, yeah, while we're all still alive. Bill Church, Denny Carmassi, Sammy, and Ronnie. Look, I got goosebumps. Okay, while we're all still alive. And I said, great. And a month later, I get the phone call. My God, Ronnie just shot himself in the head. unbelievable. I don't regret anything except because I tried to be friends with him, not to put Montrose back together, but to be friends and to hang out and to have him come to my birthday bash and have him come out on the road with me, which we did many times. Ronnie came out and played with us for the encore, and I'd do 4 Montrose tunes, and I'd pay him more money than he'd normally get. You know, I love the guy, but he was hard to get along with. Obviously, he couldn't get along with himself. I mean, you don't do that. How can a guy do that? I don't even know how someone could do that.
Right. You being a legendary performer yourself, I mean, as far as guitar, you know, you just seem to surround yourself with these just mad guitar players. You know what I mean? It's like you got all these skills. And
See, Vic Johnson is here for a purpose.
I met Sammy 10 years before I joined. 10 years before.
He met me at a Van Halen.
Right when you got
concert.
Van Halen, I met him. I already knew Mike.
right.
And then it's like 10 years later, I end up playing with him.
Right. That's
And this guy.
You see, here's the whole thing. You got Joe Satriani, you got Ronnie Montrose, you got Neil Schon, you got Eddie Van Halen, and you got Vic Johnson. Those are my guitar player guys, right? Other than that, I've always been the lead guitar player in the band. So, Vic, 17 years riding shotgun with me. There's a reason, because Vic Johnson is a bad motherfucker. Okay, when I say to Vic, hey Vic, I want to play this song, you know, like picking, you know, one of the difficult Van Halen songs, you know, picking 5150 or Best of Both Worlds, whatever. Vic, next day comes rehearsal, his shit is tight. It's like, okay, I guess I better get my shit back together. I forgot the lyrics. So, and then, I mean, he can play everything, and he puts his own twist on it, and that's so unique, and he doesn't give any freaking problems in a band. He's not ego tripping, and he doesn't think he's God.
He never moans once.
He knows he's the resurrection and the life.
He never usually says anything. No.
No, Jason, you mentioned listening to your father's records.
Yeah.
And I have something I believe you guys would get is that a dear friend of mine, he works at the Hall of Fame up in Cleveland, and was given the task of listening to James Scott's record collection. You know James Scott?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I get the chills when
Well, yeah, I
talking
mean,
about that.
I mean, so much so that everything. It wasn't only the albums in the end. I actually went for now my music setup at home is an exact copy of my father's 1978 system 77 stereo, which is the Macintosh solid state stuff with the deck. Yeah, I had one of those moments where I recreated it so I could listen to music like he could. Because half of the thing is when I play with all these different artists, it's like my drum setup is different for this than it is for when I play with Zeppelin. I turn up with the tools I need for the trade. You know, I don't just sit with the same thing and say this is the way I play. I try and adapt, you know, and for me, so same thing, you know, with when I play with anybody, I listen to it and try and imagine to do the best I can for the music that it is. You play to the song. You don't try and say, I am so-and-so and I'm going to make my sound on it. I grew up playing to the music, and that's why Dad was so good. He played the song. He was very musical. Yeah, very musical.
Yeah, Jason plays, I hear him playing my lyrics. It just cracks me up. He's playing my lyrics. I hear it in his drums. He's playing what I'm singing. He's accenting it and kicking it and staying out of its way. And
Well, then I have a question.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to wrap it up.
okay.
Can I ask this question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. For the guitarist, I mean, you've got how many different bands and how many different styles are coming in of the previous guitarists and everything? How big is your rig? How different is your rig for that?
Well, I always accommodate to the
Yeah.
It's just like Jason.
It's
He's
Yeah,
worse
but-
than Jason.
Oops, sorry.
But Vic, every time I personally come to the studio, he's in there working on his rig, just trying, different stuff. But it's his sound. I mean, he has got a big, bad sound that doesn't sound. You know, he'll go, hey Mike, what do you think of this, man? I was doing this, and I go, Vic, that
Without a
sounds
sound check.
great, man. And it sounds, and it fits this band too. You know, if you try to be someone like, let's say Eddie Van Halen, that sounds so big and round or whatever, it doesn't work in this kind of a situation. And Vic makes it work in this situation, but it's still his sound. I mean, he sounds like no other guitar player I played with.
So I didn't do so much as far as the sound that I have now because we got a lot of keyboard taking up a lot of space here.
Right.
Without the keyboard player, now I got to take up a little more space.
Yeah.
And I managed to do that. That rocks.
We kind of call him Django Unleashed.
Okay,
you know.
One more question, Mr. Johnson. Mayweather or Pacquiao?
Oh, whoa!
I broke this motherfucker. I broke this.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't mean that.
No.
No, you're right.